special guest who is here, and he is very cool, and he brought his own entourage, and yes, we have entourages, and so a round of applause for Mr. Peter Bates.
I'm at the stage where I see a chair, I take it. And related to that, my wife and I recently bought a house in a over 55 community in Sun City Center in Florida. And I like Florida. I like the heat. I don't like the cold, but I don't like the sun. I mean, you talk about plants being heliotropic, meaning they go to the sun. Well, I'm heliophobic. I really don't like the sun. I walk on the shady side of the street, and recently, to my wife's great chagrin, I bought a parasol from Chinatown. A big black parasol. So I took that parasol one day when we were in Florida. My wife was somewhere else, and I walked down to the pool area. You get a kind of a pool area where you can swim. And everyone was sitting out there sunbathing, and this rather, I guess, kind of like a Margaret Dumont type of woman. It's kind of like Groucho Marx is spoiled, and a lot of the Groucho Marx comedies came up to me and says, why are you having a parasol? This is Florida. And I said, well, I don't like the sun. You don't like the sun? But Florida is the sunshine state. Well, actually, I came here for the ice fishing. And she said, ice fishing? Well, there's no ice fishing in Florida, you silly man. And I said, well, I was misinformed. So I said, maybe you could help me. I really love swimming in fresh lakes. I'm from the north, from New England. Can you tell me if this Lake Okefenokee, is that a good place to swim? And she said, of course not. It's filled with alligators and crocodiles and now boa constrictors. And I said, well, that's not very good. Why don't they just cut the lake in half and filter out all the snakes and lizards and have a second half for humans? I mean, really. Well, I don't think the environmentalists would like that. So it went on and on like this. I would just say these things, and she would come up with a rational counterattack for each one. And I said, well, why else wouldn't you want to have it divided up in half? And she said, well, what about the cost? And I said, money, please, don't tell me about money. Have you ever noticed that there's a word for being shortchanged, but there's no word for being long-changed? Why do you think that is? And she said, well, I suppose it's the same reason why there's only a shortcut and not a long cut. I said, it's because it never happens. And then the next day, I was paying a library fine, and I got a $7 library fine, and I got $15 worth of change. I don't know how that happened. I told her she was long changing me. So anyway, I got bored talking to this woman, and I decided to go back home. So I went back home and I wanted to have a scone. One of my favorite baked goods. They're so delicious. So I opened up the refrigerator and I went and got a scone and was about to sink my teeth in it, and I found out it was stale. It was hard. It was crumbly. It was totally unscone-like. So I didn't know what to do until I realized, well, up north we just give stale baked goods to the birds. How about the birds in Florida? Well, the birds in Florida are different from the birds up here. First of all, there's turkey vultures. I couldn't see giving it to a turkey vulture. And they were like sitting way on this top of this telephone pole across from the mini pond that also has an alligator in it. So I said, well, I'm going to wait till there's some little birds. And sure enough, a couple of tiny birds. They were so small, I didn't even know they were sparrows or whatever. I looked in the book and I couldn't figure out what they were, but who cares? I threw the scone to them. You would not believe it. They went crazy. They picked at it and picked at it and picked at it. And these two tiny birds, they ate the whole thing. And they ate so much that they couldn't even fly. They tried to fly and they went floop, floop, floop. And I said, wow, it's the first time I ever filled two birds with one scone.
Okay.
I better end on that. Good grief. Thank you very much.
Hey, another round of applause. That was damn good. We enjoyed that. I like to do those commercials too about killing one bird with one stone. Have you seen those? And it's like on Antique Roadshow, and they say this is worth 2 birds in the hand or of his wrong.